Hey guys, it's Steven. Got a Bytes update, and I'm also going to be going over impermanent loss. I'm going to be going over my position and just clarifying impermanent loss and how to deal with it. So overall, we're just a pretty sideways market. We're coming down and testing these supports. As I talked about in my previous video, I do feel like there's a certain amount of support at these numbers, about $30, due to the fact that you can buy bytes and then redeem these bytes for an NFT at the floor. So there's a little bit of an arbitrage opportunity there. And then you can kind of roll the dice and possibly get a better identity than the floor. So we could see that. I haven't seen too much of that yet, but that is an option there. So um, let's just go ahead and get into what I wanted to talk about, which is impermanent loss. So just to go over my position, over the last 2 days, I had a position here that did pretty well between these ranges here. As we dipped below this number here, 0.015, I was in all bytes at this moment. I had about 500 bytes from my previous farming, and I decided to put those bytes to work. So what I did is I created a new liquidity pool range between 0.015 to 0.016. And over the last couple of days, I was able to gain about $2,170 in fees. Now, the USD value of this changes due to the price of Ethereum and the price of bytes, but overall is 0.49 Ethereum and 32 bytes. So let's just go ahead and figure out what exactly I'm talking about as far as impermanent loss and how to look at it and how to calculate it. So just to make the math simple, using this example here, I had $18,500 invested here. And what happens when the price moved to 0.017? So the way I look at it, so the first thing you need to understand about impermanent loss is impermanent loss only happens when the price moves above, when it moves higher. You can't have impermanent loss unless this price moves higher. The second thing you need to know is that there's two different types of impermanent loss. There's the minimum impermanent loss, which happens within the range here, and then there's the outer impermanent loss, which happens outside of the range. So to calculate this first range, let's just start with the fact that I had 500 bytes, and let's assume we're starting at the 0.015 price. So if I would have just held on to these bytes, 0.015, and I held those bytes up to 0.017. So let's just do a calculation here. 0.017 divided by 0.015, we have a 13% gain. So if I would have just held, I would have had a 13% gain. Now, what happens if I just pool these tokens? So in order to, if we just assume that the price is 0.017 right now, we have to use that as the impermanent loss, that this is what we're calculating against. So in order for the impermanent loss to basically break even, I would have needed to generate enough fees that the impermanent loss equals a 13% gain on my, let's go ahead and just multiply this by 18,500. Okay, so whoops, I really messed that up there. It was 21,000, I'm sorry. I think it was like 21,000. And let me just fix this. I'm sorry to do this again. So it was about 21,000, and it was 18,500. It was a little over 18,000, but I would have basically, I need to generate $2,500 in fees just to break even. So, that's basically it. That's the way I look at the impermanent loss. Now, this isn't calculating for the fact that, say, the price does move above my range. Well, now I can take my Ethereum and recalculate and try to gain those fees again. So, just for example, on this move lower, I did decide to just close this position and start a new one. I was able to gain about $300 in fees, and that's about break even after the gas I paid. So as of right now, I'm in all Ethereum. So the plan is right now just to create another position where I can just accumulate bytes again. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's really it. So uh, not sure if that explains it exactly, but uh, you have to look at the fact that impermanent loss is only calculating against the price of bytes going up against Ethereum. It's just basically you're only calculating what you would have had if you just held bytes. So when I say things like, so that when I show how much fees I gain, that's all good and well, but really what I'm comparing to is what would have happened if I just held those tokens. Like for example, I just started this pool here, and what would have happened instead of pooling if I just bought the tokens? If I were to just calculate this, say I bought at this low here at 14, and the price is almost up to, so we call it 0.0165, and let's just say I bought at 14. So I would have been up 17% just by buying the token. So that's my impermanent loss. So I could have made 17%. Instead, I'm basically break even just from the fees here. So as I've said before, this is a very risky it's a very risky thing to do, but as far as I'm losing a lot of upside, and the reason why I do this is because I am earning bytes. So for me, if the price of bytes is going up versus where my pool is, I can't have any complaints at all, because that means my income is going up. So in a way, I'm just protecting myself against the downside, and I'm losing upside, but that's okay. That's basically what I'm doing, and I'm kind of able to just obviously gain some fees on these sideways action here. So just to double check here, we obviously have some incoming buys here, but let's just go ahead and check the overall holders. We'll just refresh real quick. I have this on this page here. So we only have one new holder over the past hour here. So this is just coming from within. Maybe there's some people in Neo Tokyo talking about, oh, the price of bytes are so cheap, but I don't think that I don't think this is going to last very long unless we really start to get some outside money coming in. Because I feel like the fact that I misspoke on a previous video. Just to clarify, we have a daily reward rate of 7,466. This was something that was given out on about a month ago here. So as far as tokens going out, it's definitely an impact on the price. Let me just go ahead and use a calculator here. So 7,466, we're at about a price of, let's just call it $40. So about $300,000 a day. And if we just look at the volume here, this was my previous volume here. I'm just going to refresh this. I took it out. Yeah, so yeah, the volume overall right now there's not really much going on. So the fact that we have that type of $300,000 worth of tokens being just allocated every day, that's as income. It's an interesting dynamic, and like I said before, it gives a lot of opportunity. So I'm just going to just keep doing what I'm doing here. I'm actually, since I got you guys here, I'm just gonna go ahead and just create a position here. So gas is pretty low at 125. And let's see, we're at 16 here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just make a quick position here. So um, I feel like 15.3. So how am I gonna decide this? So we have a low of about 13.5. We've got a high of about 17. And right in the middle looks like about 15 to me. So I did this earlier. So we got 170 high, 135 low. So that gives me a pivot of about 151. So for me, I'm gonna want my number to be about 151. So 156, 153. Yeah, this seems like a good enough range to me. So yeah, I'm just gonna might as well just allocate my funds here. So um, we'll go like this. Oh, and of course this reset everything here. So we'll just go 1-5, 153, 156. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have an aggressive range. I'm just gonna basically just have this kind of this big green flag right in the center of all the right in front of all the action. This is kind of an experiment, honestly, just to kind of see what's going on here. So how much Ethereum do I want to keep? Let's just do 7.7 worth of Ethereum, 18,000. Let's do 18,500 to keep up with all my other previous positions. So, all right, right there's good. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna create this position here and let's just start that here. So now the way I look at it is I basically just kind of have this a buy position now. So I created this position. Let's just go ahead and close this out. This was a previous spot here. And we'll just move this up here. Why not? So now I'm just hoping that the price moves lower. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Like I said, I'm never going to complain about the price of bytes moving higher. And yep, this is going to be my new range now. So as the price of bytes moves below here, maybe I'll be able to get lucky and get some action. If not, I'm just going to be byteless for a little bit here. If we get some news, maybe I'll just chase it. But yeah, that's all I got for now. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you next time.